WWE's trash bag gate continues. Let's get into this story about Chelsea Green saying WWE sent her a trash bag with Natalia's property. All right, so former WWE superstar Chelsea Green recently launched her 50 Shades of Green podcast, and on the debut episode, she discussed the WWE trash bag debacle with Mickie James, which led to Mark Carrano getting fired from Talent Relations. Green revealed how something similar happened to her when she was released from WWE back on April 15th. She noted now boyfriend Matt Cardona was upset over the box and wanted her to go public with it, but she decided not to. Last week I received a nice big FedEx box at my front door. I'd got a call the week before, right after I was released, and they asked me what my address was and said they have some things to deliver. I thought to myself, that's strange. I wonder what they could possibly be delivering. But when I saw the box, I thought maybe I'm getting some leftover merch. Who knows? Are they sending me a present, a little parting gift? Silly me. They were not sending me a parting gift. I brought the box straight into the kitchen, and Matt and I opened it because we were curious what was inside of the box. Inside of the box was a nice, fresh plastic effing bag, full to the brim with stuff, just a bunch of stuff. So the box, as you have seen, if you haven't seen, the legend, the one and only Mickie James was released from WWE and posted a picture of this box on Twitter. We all got these boxes. Before I tell you the contents of my box and my garbage bag, I just want to make it clear that after talking to all the other females, I believe that this is a big one here, I believe that every single person who has been released that is a female has received this garbage bag. Gail Kim put it out there last week as well. Now, when she left WWE, she received the garbage bag. This is a trend. This is a long trend. I really don't let these things rub me the wrong way, so I laughed the garbage bag off. Was I a little annoyed? Yes, totally. My stuff came in a garbage bag, and I let it go. Matt was pissed. Matt was very pissed. He wanted me to tweet it. He wanted me to talk about it. I just didn't feel comfortable. I'm trying to not go the route of trash talking anyone or any company, especially one that paid for my mortgage, especially one that I've wanted to be at for so long. Now, trash bag gate. Upon further inspection of the trash bag, I start to realize that I'm not really sure what's in this trash bag. I first pull out some black boots. Beautiful black boots, but not my black boots. I then pull out a second pair of black boots. Again, beautiful boots, but not my boots. Here we go with the third item. The third item was the most gorgeous little leather shrug with studs and diamonds and flappy things and pink jewels and all sorts of things. If you knew women's wrestling, you knew who that person was who wears black leather with pink is always the same person. It's going to be Natty. So I knew right away that the contents of the box were actually not Natty's. I continued to pull out a couple things. A lot of it was Natty's, but I did run into some questionable items, some cute little skirts and cute little dresses that kind of look like Lana's or Liv's. There was also a basketball. I don't know who was playing basketball at WWE backstage, but someone's getting their hoops on. So the contents of the box was in fact not mine and many other females. I let them know that he who shall not be named, because he who shall not be named was let go from WWE. He told me to drop the box off at someone's house, send the box on its way. I was shook because here's the thing, the contents of the box is expensive. I'm not going to just drop it at somebody else's house and hope it gets to Tampa. She would go on to say, with all that being said, I will say that I think WWE handled it the best way possible. We saw Johnny Ace's tweet. We saw Stephanie McMahon's tweet, Triple H's tweet upon learning of the disrespectful treatment some of our recently released talent received. There you go. All that happened. As the trash bag gate continues to go on, full effect. WWE's in a bad spot here with her saying that all these women received the same thing. So it's a Mark Carrano thing and his group of people who were just doing this disrespectful thing to all the women that were released from the company over the years, sending their stuff in trash bags. Why? I don't know. Maybe he found it funny and some sick joke that he had going on there. But he's been doing it. Chelsea Green comes out now. Gail Kim came out. Maria Kanellis said some stuff as well with the whole trash bag stuff that started with Mickie James when she first talked publicly about it. So the culture at WWE may be changing. They may be rooting out the bad apples like a Mark Carrano. How long he went, the thing is that he was there such a long time and doing this to so many people. It's amazing how it just happened now. Nobody else has spoken out about it. First person was Mickie James, and she put it on Twitter. Obviously, Twitter, you put it out there, it's gonna get somebody's gonna react to it. Somebody is gonna do something about it, because that's obviously one of the main ways you get bad publicity nowadays is through Twitter. WWE's handling it. How if they're handling it good or bad, that's based on your opinion. But they're coming out and saying these things. They're trying to fix it, so we'll see what happens. But the interesting thing is that they sent it to Chelsea Green a trash bag full of just random stuff from random other wrestlers and stuff like that. Really doesn't make a ton of sense. It's kind of weird. Matt Cardona has not come out and said anything about it. It's a crazy story. It can continue on. We'll see how long it goes and if anybody else comes out saying they got trash bags as well. But it's not a good look for WWE. Trust me on that. But staying in the same vein, there's this other story here. Stephanie McMahon called out over using WWE's Women's Evolution for promotional reasons. WWE prides themselves on the Women's Evolution, but some would like them to do a whole lot more. Maria Kanellis can certainly see a few things that Stephanie McMahon could be doing with WWE's influence that she's not taking advantage of. Maria Kanellis recently spoke to Kawada Driver, where she unloaded on Stephanie McMahon, WWE's Evolution. She said that Stephanie could do a lot more if she wanted to do something about it. In the end, it seems to be more about promotion than actually evolving women's wrestling. So you all have these pointless pay-per-views. You have the opportunity to do a women's empowerment pay-per-view and you don't do it. I don't get it. I don't know how Stephanie McMahon deals with that. Like as a woman, I've been really outspoken about women's wrestling and women in wrestling. It should come as no surprise that as a woman, I couldn't deal with that. If I had all the power in the industry, I couldn't deal with that. I have minimum power in this industry and I'm fighting my tail off to create more opportunities. If I had that much power, there would be a whole show plus a reality show that actually covers the girls live. Plus on top of that, we would have a makeup line and be on the cover of Vogue showing, guess what, these women are badass and they're beautiful in their own right. Kanellis will go on to say, I don't get why WWE can't call up magazines to offer spotlight articles for their women's superstars because they could do that. I see all these things that Stephanie is fighting for women's rights, but it seems more promotional than it does actual. All right, so Maria Kanellis coming at Stephanie McMahon big time here in this article and on this podcast she was on where she spoke about it. Yeah, I mean, you really honestly thought that they were doing it because they just wanted to promote women's wrestling as like a, something that they wanted to do. I think it's more promotional because they're going to get more publicity if they do. I mean, I think that's just pretty obvious. It's just the way it is. It's a big business. That's just the way they operate. They care about the bottom line only. So they're going to cater to whatever makes them more money. So obviously, we had the article that I talked about last week and about Mickie James, them telling her that the women's pay-per-view Evolution was their lowest rated pay-per-view, lowest pay-per-view buy rate. So, that affected their bottom line in that aspect. So when them going into, I don't think they should do a whole brand for themselves because again, it's not good to just separate men and women like that. Keep them on the same show, but continue to build it and continue to work with it. Now, that all comes down to creative as well. How the creative is being done for the women may not be up to par. NXT's women's division is tremendous. I think it's a tremendous division. I think it's done very, very well, booked very well. Storyline development, superstar development, all that stuff is done very, very well. She makes a good point about the makeup line, the magazines. Wrestling still has that stigma about it that's not really like heavily mainstream in certain things. They've made a lot of inroads with ESPN and all that, Sports Illustrated. But do you see them making those inroads in those high fashion magazines and stuff like that? It's going to be tough for them to get into those things because they're not seen as serious as, more serious now than they were before, but just wrestling in general is not being taken in the mainstream like that to that level where it comes to Hollywood, even though some Hollywood, stars now are former wrestlers, but they're still seen with a certain type of lens. So that may be tough for them to get into the big magazines like top of my head Vogue or something like that. It may be tough for them to get those spots for the women. But they could do more. Yeah, they could create their own makeup line with some makeup providers and stuff like that. You see Marie, she has her own products and stuff like that. So they can go down that route and have more women involved in that. But again, that goes into the whole third party stuff they have going on where they're having issues and WWE wants to control everything. So it will all have to go through them. So it's be interesting to see how they work through that, but they can do more in that aspect of promoting them outside of the company. Yeah, they can definitely do a lot more. And again, it comes off as just promotional because she wants to push Stephanie, the women's division and everything like that, women's wrestling. It could be just for the bottom line in general. How serious they are of pushing it, I don't know. It's a big business. That's the way big businesses operate. Big corporations, they treat stuff like that. Certain things, they do it just because it's expedient, so their bottom line is going to help them out. So that's what I see in WWE here with Stephanie in this. But it's a developing situation. We'll see how far they take it, how they go with the whole trash bag gate, and now this. It's pretty interesting stuff. They're going to be in a lot of hot water because of all this. Last story let's get to. It's about Monday Night Raw. With tonight being Monday Night Raw, let's talk about Braun Strowman comments on the chaotic WWE backstage environment, last minute changes. Obviously, it's been reported WWE Raw, SmackDown last minute changes. Vince changes up the show last minute, and everybody's kind of scrambling backstage. He spoke with Bleacher Report, Braun Strowman did, and talked about the chaotic environment. The boys and girls in the back, we all work really, really hard. It's been a little chaotic because everything's been all over the place. People get sick and things change at the last minute. And part of me enjoys that, I'm not gonna lie. He gave last Monday's Raw as an example, as everything was crazy because people got hurt, people were sick, and stuff changed. He noted that all of a sudden he's booked to work 3 matches in one show, which is about an hour and 10 minutes of being in the ring. He said that while you're freaking out, you have to go and hit a home run. He stated it's a satisfying feeling. He also talked about the ratings decline. It's a tough time right now. It's a challenge for everything that's on television to try to draw live viewership. I'll be honest, I haven't even had cable in my house for the last decade. I keep with our shows and via apps and social media. Okay, so that's true. A lot of people now, they stream stuff, so nobody even has cable anymore. I've got rid of my cable, so a lot of people just cut the cable. It's too expensive. And then, I don't know if that falls into the ratings, how people watch it. They watch it through apps or stream it. Who knows? Through social media, that's how people keep up with the show. Last minute stuff is crazy. I mean, the fact that you're now, so people catch COVID or people get sick, WWE doesn't really tell you. They've done it like twice with Drew McIntyre and Charlotte Flair, but everybody else that's kind of disappeared, they just keep it secret, or they come up with some crazy storyline reason behind it. They're better off just telling everybody, okay, this person has COVID, this person has COVID, this person has COVID, he's out, they're out, she's out, this, that. Better off doing that. But the chaotic backstage stuff, because as soon as you get a COVID positive test when they get to the arena, boom, you got to change up the whole show, especially if somebody's involved. Now, funny thing, he was in on Monday Night Raw, hour and 10 minutes, 3 separate matches. Wasn't really a good look, right? So that's what you get. But even before COVID, this stuff has been happening. It's a chaotic backstage environment. It bleeds over into the show because you feel how some segments are very, quickly put together. You can just tell by the way they come off on TV. Not really work that well. But it continues the chaotic nature of WWE and Vince McMahon. He changes things up so much. Main problem is they have so many writers, so many different ideas, but the buck stops at Vince McMahon. So that's the problem there. It's not a huge problem. I think the problem is more that there's so many writers, not just Vince McMahon. So many writers, everything has to go through him. So it's a lot of stages that have to get through before he gets approved. And if he gets there, he doesn't like it, he's changing it up on the spot. And that's why you get these chaotic, weird, pretty bad Monday Night Raws, and I expect tonight's to be just as bad. So stay tuned for a review after the show tonight, Monday, for another bad Raw. And tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. again, daily news and rumors from the wrestling world. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Remember, drop a like on this video, helps out a lot with the algorithm. Smash the chair in the corner for a Smash the J first, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.